Hit the shower. Grab your coffee. And get ready to attack the weekend with Charlie Uczen and Jack Pembroke as they catch you up on everything Wisconsin sports you may have missed this past week. All before you even finish your breakfast. It's Wisconsin Sports Weekend, live from 12:50 a.m. and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
How we doing, folks? How we doing? Like the big voice lady just said, it is Wisconsin Sports Weekend. I am Charlie Uczen, but it is not Jack Pembroke on the other side of the glass. It's my old pal, Tommy Wortz. Tommy, how are you doing on this wonderful Saturday, my man?
Great. I'm great, Charlie. It's back like we never left.
I know.
Right?
It's nice having you back on here.
First time since March, I guess.
Probably. You snuck on, I think, last month.
Yeah.
Just as like a little guest appearance. Mm-hmm. But yeah, first time since March as like your first full show.
Sitting in. I know. It's been forever, and I feel like they're just trying to separate us, and I'm not a fan. So I fought back, and we are back here on a Saturday morning.
They don't want to see us win, Tommy.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Pray on our downfall.
Our guy, Jack Pembroke, is out at a big-time Frisbee golf tournament.
Yeah.
He's, if you didn't know, like, huge in the state.
If you know anyone who is serious about Frisbee golf, they know who Jack Pembroke is.
Right.
Like, that's how serious he is in the game.
So, good luck to our guy, Jack, out there. I hope he's doing well. I'm sure we'll get an update sometime here. He'll be listening, keeping around. Exactly. Throw him straight. I think that's what they say.
That's what they say. Right? Well, you hit him straight in golf. You got to throw him straight.
There you go. There you go. It is Wisconsin Sports Weekend, live from the 12:50 a.m. and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. In our wonderful show today at 9:20, we're going to talk about John Horst and Doc Rivers discussing Giannis Antetokounmpo last night in a press conference with Miles Turner 2 nights ago, and the video was put out last night, so we got to hear what they said about the whole situation with Giannis and any trade rumors that are coming out, stuff like that. We think they may have put a lot of people's worries to rest here with this press conference. We want to know what you think. At 9:40, we got On the Green with Jason Brandowski of the River Club of Mequon. Great conversation there, talking about the wonderful course with Mason Crosby and Mitch Thunder Nellis that we'll play back for you guys as always at 9:40. At 10 o'clock, we're going to talk about Andrew Vaughn and this Milwaukee Brewers team and whether or not he can be a true piece of this after recording a hit in his first 4 games as a Milwaukee Brewer. At 10:20, we got Mount Pixmore, where we're going to go back and forth with our picks. Tommy's got 2, I got 2. We did not do very good in our last Mount Pixmore, me and Jack at least. So this is a whole brand new mountain no matter what. And as always, we close off the show with the Wisconsin Sports Weekend Pub Crawl. First off, though, I wanted to head back to that Milwaukee Brewers game from last night where they just dominated the Washington Nationals. This guy did not pitch, but there was some big news with him happening last night.
Struck him out with a curveball. Misiorowski pitches around the leadoff double. He K's Ohtani, K's Freeman. 1-0 ball game as we go to the bottom of the third, and the Miz taking center stage.
So that strikeout was from his last start against the LA Dodgers, courtesy of the FanDuel Sports Network. He is definitely taking center stage because he is going to be a part of All-Star Weekend, replacing Cubs pitcher Matt Boyd in the National League starting rotation there. Super exciting news. Tommy, first off, as you host the leadoff show, you've been following the prospects. You've been following Jacob Misiorowski throughout this whole season. How expected was this for you? How surprised were you when you heard this news?
Well, Charlie, you remember I did tell you that I was about, after his second start, I was about to go on the air and say I think he has a chance to be an all-star. I ended up, I looked at the math wrong on when Paul Skeens had come up versus when he came up, so I ended up retreating on that take. And after 5 starts, to be honest, absolutely did not expect it. But when you look at what the All-Star Game is, and the reason Paul Skeens had the record for 11 appearances before making an All-Star Game, and that was the record, the All-Star Game is a spectacle, right? The All-Star Game, it doesn't mean anything anymore in Major League Baseball. It used to have some World Series implications on you win the game, that All-Star team wins the game, that team has the advantage in the World Series for the best of 7 series. Now it has become a showcase of the best players in the league, and that's who the league wants to find marketing ability for. And I know that after 5 starts, it sounds crazy to put Jacob Misiorowski on this roster, but at the end of this season, Are we going to say that Jacob Misiorowski will not be a top 30 pitcher in baseball this year? I find that hard to believe as well. So while I understand there is some outrage outside of Milwaukee, by the way, on Jacob Misiorowski being an all-star after just 25 and 2/3 innings and 5 appearances in Major League Baseball, there is no way he is not a top 50 marketable player, or however many people, 40 marketable player in Major League Baseball right now. So you have to put him in that game.
I think that's very fair. I think you look at what he's done so far in all 5 of his starts outside of the one start, and really in that one start it was a shaky inning, and then outside of that he was still pretty good in that start. He has just been electric. He's jaw-dropping. Like, that's how good he is when you watch him play. When he's striking out a Shohei Ohtani and a Freddie Freeman back-to-back, you feel like you're on top of the world as a Brewers fan, and he's the person that's putting you there. When you look at this All-Star game, I know you talk about it being a spectacle and that he is one of the biggest spectacles right now. I don't think that always means it's a deserved all-star spot. You said you feel like he could end up being a top 30 pitcher in the MLB by the end of the season. Do you think he's there already, and do you think this spot was deserved more so than just he needs to be here because he's so much fun to watch? Did his play really put him into that all-star game?
Yeah, so I will say, like, I don't think he's going to start this game, right? Okay, right. That would be maybe a little unfair Absurd. As to what happens. You know, the manager will get to decide. I have a feeling that this might be, you know, an unwritten baseball rule, old-time manager. Who is it Dave Roberts will be the manager of the NL? He might not pitch him. Might not even play him. I could totally see that being like, slow down there, bud. You know what I mean?
Is that fair if he doesn't play him? Like, I mean,
I'm just saying it as far as weird things that happen in baseball, right? Where there are these unwritten rules and, you know, rookies' trials and tribulations that go throughout. I could totally see something where Dave Roberts won't pitch him. And maybe baseball gets a lot of backlash for that after it happens. But again, I also understand why people might be a little bit upset with Jacob Misiorowski being in the game after 5 games. We have seen every single one of his starts. We have been watching the Brewers very attentively all year. He's the most exciting thing the Brewers have had maybe ever. I mean, it's easily up there with Jackson Chourio, Ryan Braun territory already after 5 games. He throws 100. His slider is the fastest slider of all time, and his curveball and changeup are way better than anyone could have predicted. We had Jeff Hema on the Mason Crosby show yesterday, play-by-play broadcaster for the Nashville Sounds, and he even said no one could have predicted this dominance coming up at this point. And to be fair to Jacob Misiorowski, he had to be that dominant in order to make this game. He did prove himself as a stud pitcher in 5 games for the Milwaukee Brewers and for the National League. This is a year where Rookie of the Year class is very down in the National League. They want to have new stars to market and to make a profit on the game. And Jacob Misiorowski took the league by storm immediately, and he did 99% of the correct things other than that 1 inning against the New York Mets on his way to this appearance.
I want to turn that question around to you, the listener. Do you think Jacob Misiorowski deserved his all-star appearance that he received last night? You can hit us up on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. Again, that's 414-677-1250-1250. You can also hit us up at the Fan Milwaukee on Facebook and Twitter. You can respond to the post that we got up there. We're also live streaming on YouTube, so you can see my beautiful face, Tommy Wortz's beautiful face, and hear our sultry tones like Sparky likes to say all the time. So you can listen to us at the Fan Milwaukee on YouTube. We also got it now, so where if you just look up the Fan Milwaukee, it comes up with our page on YouTube. Before it just came up with like fan reviews, like literal like mechanical fans.
Yeah, you know, awesome. we love you, Milwaukee Tool, but we are the Fan Milwaukee.
We're the Fan Milwaukee. So we are asking you, does Jacob Misiorowski deserve to be an all-star? You brought up the kind of weak rookie class in the National League right now, Tommy. If you look at this all-star appearance for Jacob Misiorowski, do you think that kind of certifies him as the National League Rookie of the Year almost automatically because nobody else is really getting that recognition, even close to that recognition in the National League?
I would say that that's a pretty fair assumption. I do believe that health is obviously going to play a factor in that. five games is not going to be what he finishes with this year too. So we'll see how the next 5 games and the next 5 games after that go as well for Jacob Misiorowski. But as far as what the National League is producing for rookies, a lot of them are on the Brewers, by the way. Chad Patrick, I believe, still is the 3rd best odds. He's not going to come back up this season. Isaac Collins has some odds for Rookie of the Year as well. He's not going to win the award. Drake Baldwin in Atlanta, the catcher, Madison native as well, he has an opportunity to be up there for the National League Rookie of the Year voting, but now Sean Murphy's back, and he's hot, and they have to split time again. Jacob Misiorowski is going to go out there every 5 days. We were talking about with Nestor Cortez coming back, is there going to be an opportunity for Misiorowski to be sent down for a week or two? Not that I was in favor of that, but I understand the logic of that. That throws that plan completely out the window. Cannot do it anymore, and that will not happen. And I think Misiorowski is going to get every opportunity in the world, Charlie. I think that if the Brewers were in a playoff series, he starts game 2. So I think that by default, yes, he will be Rookie of the Year, but we do get robbed of the full rookie season of what we could see of Jacob Misiorowski, but he didn't need it. He didn't need it. If we're talking about who's the best player, not just most talented, not just most established, but actually putting up the best numbers for a rookie, Jacob Misiorowski will have it in the National League by the end of the year.
I would argue that if Jacob Misiorowski continues to pitch at the level that he's pitching at for the rest of the season, he's not a game 2 starter. He's a game 1 starter. I love Freddie Peralta. I know he was the initial all-star for this Milwaukee Brewers team, but you can't keep him out of that first spot. I mean,
who's going to get more Cy Young votes? Because they're both going to get them now.
Yeah, they both are. And I mean, if Woodruff keeps pitching well post All-Star break, if he stays healthy,
and that should be the first 3, right? For game 1 will be Freddie. Game 2 is going to be Miz. Game 3 is going to be Woodruff, right? And that's where it goes down to. Priester, we've already seen yesterday, for instance, coming out of the pen like he does in his not opener role, but second start role. He goes the 6 innings to get rid of the rest of that game, so he'll get moved to the bullpen. I would say Quintana is probably now a hot name on the trade block for a veteran to be moved at the deadline. Again, just to make some room, because we talked about it at the beginning of the season when all these injuries happened for the Milwaukee Brewers, how crowded it was going to get if people started working out, and it got real crowded real fast. And I would not be shocked, to your point as well, Charlie, if it was a Game 1 playoff series, Misiorowski gets the bump for him either. I just think that they would probably lean, knowing how Pat Murphy operates and his old school curmudgeonly type attitude all the time, I think he would give it to a veteran in Game 1, but I do think he would give Misiorowski the Game 2 nod.
But Pat Murphy's changed a little bit this season, man. He's not the same Pat Murphy that he was last season. Anthony Siegler played in that second game of that doubleheader right away, and he's played a lot since. Andrew Vaughn, since they brought him up, has played or started in those first couple of games and played in almost every single game. I mean, he seems to be leaning a little bit more on these younger guys, more so than we saw last season.
Well, I think that he's being forced to, right, at the same time, where I think Pat Murphy would like to humble, not in a bad way, but just be like, slow down, take a breath, Miz, a little bit, and the rest of the baseball world won't let him, right? You have to let him go now and unleash him. He's made the All-Star game. It's something that when we heard Jacob Misiorowski's media availabilities, right? No one else had media availabilities on anyone, but everyone wanted to talk to him. So now you are restricted to only talking to him the day before his starts and the day after his, like the immediate time that he did start post-game. So I think that he's being forced to adapt because he has really some incredible talent on his team right now, and I'm worried that it's already priced the Brewers out of having him for any long time, but I don't even care about getting hurt over this Jacob Misiorowski situation in the future. Right now, this is the most awesome time it feels like to be a Milwaukee Brewers fan.
So if you, as you say, think the Brewers have priced themselves out of a Jacob Misiorowski now at this point, a second contract or whatever is going to be the situation, now that he's been an all-star, he's priced himself out of the Brewers range more. So do you think that changes not only Pat Murphy's style of managing, but the way the front office is going to operate here. If you only have Jacob Misiorowski for a shorter period of time, what does that mean for the length of time they start keeping some of these other prospects in the minor leagues in order to get a more competitive team at the major league level?
Well, and I think that, it should be noted it's like 6 years of team control still, right? Including this season plus 5 more. Like they'll have some renewable contract years plus pre-arbitration or arbitration years. So, you got some time. But I do think it changes how they operate with Jacob Misiorowski this season. The innings limits, the caps, the how many days should he pitch. You have to treat him like he has just been in the league for 5 years at this point. You cannot restrict this kid. We have seen 1 bad inning out of him in the entire time in Major League Baseball right now. Is he perfect? By no means. But as far as stuff goes and just absolute filth that leaves his fingertips, he's toe for toe with anyone in Major League Baseball right now. It's not just the 102. It's the slider that can wipe anyone out. It's the curveball that throws everyone off. He's throwing 92-mile-an-hour changeups. They look like sinkers the entire time. This is not someone that is going to be restricted by any means, I think, anymore. And looking at a situation like in the division with Paul Skeens, they didn't do that with Paul Skeens last year. They know what they have, and they know he is already that good. There is no reason to restrict and put these limits and put these restrictions on Paul Skeens because you don't know how long it's going to be. They already started trade rumors about Paul Skeens earlier in the season. Where should he go? Where should he leave out after Pittsburgh? Get what you can out of the guy while you have him. If you know he's a stud, don't say, well, we've only seen this much and, he has never pitched more than 85 innings or so in a year. Monitor it. Don't be stupid about it, but don't have the mindset of we need to make sure he doesn't get to a point. You need to see where that point is with Jacob Misiorowski.
And a team like the Pirates is doing that without a competitive team around Paul Skeens.
Right.
So they're having that faith. They're putting that type of workload on this pitcher because they know he can take it, and that's without a good team around him. This Brewers team, right now, as we're sitting, looks like a World Series contender. Like, they look like they're getting to that National League Championship type of level. And maybe not all the way to the point there, but they're getting there. And I think as long as Jacob Misiorowski continues to pitch like this, you have to let him continue to pitch
Do you think that is the case just because of the pitching staff, though? Do you see this as a complete team? This team is complete. Like the Cubs, complete. Dodgers, complete. Yankees, complete. I know they're not at the top, but they got a complete roster. The Brewers, you look at the pitching staff, complete. Doesn't matter where it is. In a 4-man rotation, Brewers might go toe-to-toe with anyone in baseball at this point if everyone's healthy. As far as the lineup goes, complete is a strong word for it, right? Andrew Vaughn looks great. We're going to talk about him later on in the show, and he looks awesome to be a midseason acquisition for the Brewers. Joey Ortiz, every time I tweeted this out, are we so sure that the Brewers will find a defensively better player at shortstop this season if they were to make a change? I don't think they will. I really don't. But he obviously is a liability in the lineup. Caleb Durbin, again, exciting. Going to be another guy probably going to get some Rookie of the Year votes as well. He plays a solid defense, and his scrappy offensive play is fun, but he's a young guy, and he has struggled in the big leagues. Has he fully grown past that stage of his major league career? I'm not so sure. I do think that there's going to be an opportunity for Caleb Durbin over a 4-week stretch. He's going to bat 180 again. He's going to come back down to earth. So there are pieces missing for sure on this team. And when you say playoff team, World Series, deep run playoff team caliber, I think the pitching staff really stands out. And now that you can see that, there's a lot of pressure on the front office to make the moves for the offense so that we can have a complete team for the Milwaukee Brewers.
I think also what I'm seeing with this offense and why I say that I feel like they can be a deep playoff team is that, yes, they don't have all the pieces there right now, but there's going to be pieces available, and the pieces that the Brewers need are pretty obvious. And right now what we're seeing from a Jacob Misiorowski is that he's good enough, and the rest of this pitching staff is that they're good enough to make that deep playoff run. And that what we're seeing from a Christian Yelich now is that he's starting to be good at a consistent rate. What we're seeing from a William Contreras is that he's starting to make hard contact with the ball. Some of that hard slugging rate that he had last season is starting to show up again a little bit here. Joey Ortiz is starting to get a little bit more consistent at the plate. Yeah. So you're seeing a lot of these players start to break out of their shells a little bit, and I get excited because it's so obvious what this team needs to do. And I trust in Matt Arnold, having talked with him multiple times on this station and Wisconsin Sports Daily, that I believe in him to make that change, knowing that Jacob Misiorowski is as good as he is and Jackson Chourio is as good as he is.
Freddie has evolved into a very solid pitcher as well.
And you brought up is healthy.
Yes, come on. And you brought up Yelich. Like, Yelich does need to be brought up in this conversation too. Like, his play has been all of what they have asked of him to do on his contract this season. He's been on fire for well over a month now. I think it's 40 more games now at this point, and he's batting .340 over that stretch. He has to get some credit during this as well too, because he got a lot of flack after 2019 and hadn't really found his stride again, and now it's finally back for the Milwaukee Brewers.
For sure. All right, let's head over to the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. Get in on the show there. That's what Ken from the Falls did. Ken, you are on Wisconsin Sports Weekend. Do you feel like Jacob Misiorowski deserves to be an All-Star?
No. In fact, I do not. In fact, 5 starts does not make you an all-star. And you could see, I don't know if you picked up on the body language of Murph and the other players, there's a lot of veterans, I can guarantee you, that are probably shaking their head at that one. It's a great thing for the kid, no two ways about it. He's pitched incredibly well. He's taken the MLB on by surprise in terms of what he's been able to accomplish in his first 5 starts, but under no uncertain terms should he be in the All-Star game, because of 5 starts, and 4 of them were, obviously fantastic. And I'm a diehard Brewer fan, but I am totally against this. As a veteran, if you're a veteran player and there were guys that felt like they were snubbed from the All-Star roster, and then you put the kid on, I don't know.
Ken,
that's a little troublesome.
Ken, no one on the Brewers should have been there over him, you think, right?
Correct.
Okay,
correct.
So it'd be a veteran guy on another team who could maybe be upset. And there was a name, Christopher Sanchez, who everyone was a little bit snubbed about. He's pitching on Sunday. He wouldn't be able to be in the game anyway as well. That's a name that people were circulating should be in over him. But it's not. I don't think any of this should be faulted towards Miz, Ken, right? Like, he's the one who just went out there and shoved.
Correct. I'm not bagging on the kid at all. I'm just saying, as a whole, what MLB is doing, I get what they're doing, and some of the smart moves are not having your guys in the All-Star game, especially this Brewer team. The last thing you want to do is have guys at the All-Star game. Why? You want your guys to get that rest for the second half.
Yeah.
The All-Star game's a lot of fluff, and for Jacob, it's a great thing. The kid, young kid like that, and he gets his All-Star debut. With 5 starts, I don't think that's ever. In fact, I don't think that's ever happened to a player.
Quickest of all time.
That they got called up to the All-Star game like that. So for him and for the organization, it's a great thing. But from a veteran player standpoint, I can guarantee if you were to actually talk to some of the vets, even on the Brewer team, and they'd say, "Hey, what do you think about the kid?" I'm sure a lot of them would say they wouldn't make a record, or they wouldn't make a comment on the record. But off the record, if you happen to know some of them personally, I would be willing to bet they'd say, "Yeah, I don't know about that."
Ken, one more thing, Ken. Do you think that this would have changed the result if the All-Star game still had implications of like World Series on it? Do you think the MLB wouldn't have done that, or do you think that doesn't matter in this situation?
No, I don't think it really matters in this situation. Okay. They want to showcase the kid. Look at what the MLB Network has done. I mean, they've been all over the Brewers the last few weeks, which I absolutely love. But I would like to say one other thing, and I don't know if you have any other callers, but I'll make it brief. In terms of the team as a whole, when you see how this team has overcome adversity with injuries, as they've been continuing to, Murph and Chris Hook, get this pitching staff healthy and up to speed, and then building the chemistry with these younger guys, with Durbin and Collins, and having them come into their own. If I were Joey Ortiz, I'd be really worried that I would not be on this team within the next 2 weeks, simply because the guy can't hit. He showed a little bit that he could hit, and yes, he can play defense. To answer your question, is there a better defensive shortstop out there? I say this. there's always a really good shortstop on a bad team that hates being on a bad team. And Matt Arnold has, if he's done nothing else, he's shown you that he's not going to tip his hand to what he's doing. And if in fact they're going to make that trade and pull that trigger, that's going to be the spot that they're going to trade for to get a bat, as well as a shortstop that they can rely on that can hit at least 240, 250.
All right, Ken, don't be a stranger, my man. Thanks for calling in. If you'd like to be like Ken from the Falls, call in to the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line 414-677-1250 to get in on this question: does Jacob Misiorowski deserve to be an All-Star? We're going to take a quick break. When we come back here, we're going to listen to John Horst and Doc Rivers talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo in their latest press conference, and we want to know, do you think everybody's tension is going to be eased at all by their comments? It is Wisconsin Sports Weekend live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I'm Charlie Uczen. That's Tommy Wortz over there. We will be right back. Welcome back in, folks. It is Wisconsin Sports Weekend live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I'm Charlie Uczen, got my guy Tommy Wortz on the other side of the glass there. If you are just tuning in, you missed us talk about Jacob Misiorowski receiving his first ever All-Star appearance after only 5 career starts. Pretty crazy stuff there, but pretty exciting for the Milwaukee Brewers as well. Now we wanted to move on to the Milwaukee Bucks. A couple of nights ago, Miles Turner had his introductory press conference with the team out in Las Vegas for some reason instead of in Milwaukee. Felt a little weird that we didn't get to see it like in person, I guess, Tommy. But it's nice to still hear him talk. He said some fun things. He said he loved being in Milwaukee now, even though he used to hate Milwaukee. That's all great. But John Horst and Doc Rivers were talking with Miles Turner, and they were discussing Giannis Antetokounmpo a little bit at the end of the press conference. Here's what John Horst had to say about his communication with Giannis this offseason.
Yeah, I mean, and Doc obviously speaks to him all the time as well. We're talking about a over 10-year relationship. We talk to Giannis all the time. You know, our coaches are with Giannis working him out. Our strength coaches are working him out. I'll go visit him after summer league. There's a reason we don't really speculate or talk about any of this stuff ever. This is no different. We were entirely focused on our job. Our job is to build the best team that we can, present that to him, present the vision and the plan, and go and kick ass in the next season. And so that's where we are today. This is a big part of it.
So, Tommy, I want to ask you first. I don't think you had as much tension about this whole situation as maybe like Sparky has had, because he was very angry about Giannis saying probably when he was in Greece with I Show Speed. That was a big issue for him for some reason. I didn't take it as seriously as he did. Does this, in your mind, ease any tension for you with this whole situation?
I think that we should already know and assume that the general manager and the head coach of one of the best basketball players to ever play the game, they are in contact in the offseason. And do we need reassurance on that? I don't think so. I didn't read much into the comments of probably back with Milwaukee because I know that Giannis probably also has people in his corner, in his circle, who are always like, keep your options open, and I know you love it here. We're going to make everything try to work out here, but keep your options open. I understand that from a business standpoint as well. As far as ease tensions, my tensions got eased as soon as Miles Turner was announced a Buck. Like, that was one of the more impressive general manager moves I can remember any Wisconsin sports team making work in an offseason. Now, you brought up the fact of Miles Turner and Doc and Horst doing their conference in Vegas, and you remember when Damian Lillard was greeted by the entire city of Milwaukee when he came and did his press conference. So it was two opposite ends of the spectrum, and there are two other players as well. You know, Damian Lillard, an all-NBA 75 player. Miles Turner, I don't even believe has an all-star appearance.
Future Hall of Pretty Good guy. They just made the basketball hall.
Yes, I could totally see that. But he was widely regarded as probably the best free agent out on the market this year. He was a guy that fits Giannis's game beautifully. If you're looking at someone who is very reminiscent of Brook Lopez, where he can stretch the floor on offense, but he can also be a guy who blocks a lot of shots on defense, and so he can take a lot of that workload off of Giannis being banged around by some guys underneath the basket. So I do think that if you needed to hear John Horst and Doc Rivers say, we have talked to Giannis, then your tensions are eased, for sure. But I didn't see this as a very tense situation after the move for Miles Turner and the waiving of Damian Lillard.
Do you think it's necessary for Giannis to come out and say, no, I'm not going anywhere, or for the Milwaukee Bucks in some way saying anything other than what like John Horst and Doc Rivers were saying, and them just saying, no, we're not getting rid of Giannis, like there's nothing that'll change our minds about that? Do you think that would settle everything? Like, would that stop ESPN from talking about this? Would this stop Sparky from being angry at everybody about all of this? Would that just stop it, or would they find other stories to come up with?
I mean, maybe it would stop it for a select time. They will always generate a story. This is an every offseason occurrence now in Milwaukee. You have to understand that. And I would be more concerned about that if the Bucks had a similar ownership problem to other teams in, pro sports, or even just with a cheap owner type thing. They have owners that are willing to spend money. They have owners that are willing to go into the luxury tax. They were in the second apron for how many seasons now since they had Damian Lillard, and it was hard to operate under those conditions. They had to make some moves to try to get under that second apron because it was impeding their job. I think that Giannis has not signed just one extension, but 2 extensions with the Milwaukee Bucks during this time as well. He's a guy who loves Milwaukee. He has had these rumors and these, haters in his face over these last 8 years now, since he's been a very high caliber player for the NBA standards. No, I was not tense over this moment. Maybe a little more so this season, but once you saw what the Milwaukee Bucks tried to do in this offseason to work some contracts out, to bring back pieces that they thought were helpful to Giannis's game, and then bring in a new piece like a Miles Turner that also benefits his game, my tensions are eased.
Well, and I think you look at John Horst and you look at Doc Rivers in this press conference, if anybody gets the chance to actually watch it, and they are not tense at all. They don't seem worried about this at all. And if they're not worried about it, why should we be worried about it as fans? We're not the one making the decisions for this team. Our jobs aren't on the line with Giannis's decision at all. It's their jobs. If they're not worried, then you shouldn't be worried at all.
Maybe Doc Rivers has the most tension right now of anyone else, right?
But really, he shouldn't. He came out of retirement for this job, man.
He
was done.
Yeah.
He's doing this for fun at this point, basically.
Right. For a pride standpoint,
Right.
maybe Doc Rivers should be the most tense, right? And I do think that we are talking about a coach who is probably overrated in terms of what NBA coaches have been over the years. He got one championship out of a very stacked Boston Celtics team and probably underachieved with that team, but he does have one ring. Anywhere else he's gone, they've found ways to win as well, but really never get over the hump and be an elite tier team, whether it was the Clippers, the Sixers, even the Bucks, what he's been with now. They've gotten into the playoffs. They can't get past the first round. But why I think Doc Rivers should feel that pressure is John Horst had to pull a rabbit out of the hat, as we were saying, to make those moves happen this offseason, to make it so that the Bucks could be able to work financially and then also bring in a piece that they really thought would help Giannis. Now you have a guy who has fired a coach into the middle of the season, into the start of his career. I believe 38-13 they were when they fired Adrian Griffin. Like, Doc Rivers needs to be showing the league that the Bucks are here to compete and here to stay at the top of the East, and they need to have that security at that midseason point. Otherwise, I wouldn't be shocked if John Horst makes things a little more tense and ends up making a decision. Maybe Giannis had an influence on Doc Rivers staying. I wouldn't doubt that. I think that they are communicating with Giannis more than we even know, more than we even report. I would be very shocked if Giannis is blindsided by 90% of the moves that happen for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Is playing Giannis at point guard a clip that Doc Rivers had from the Summer League game? Do you think that is a sign of them going more aggressive and being with Doc Rivers and just giving the ball to Giannis at all points and say, you know what, you are, like I've mentioned multiple times on this show, the diamond. We need to stop looking for diamonds in the rough and getting these 18-year-olds or foreign players. You have a diamond already. Is that? Does that signify that?
Yeah, I think it's very similar to like a LeBron in Cleveland situation, right? Where he is the diamond. You don't need to find any other diamonds. He is the diamond. And regardless on whether or not he won all the championships every time he got there, I know that's his biggest flaw. I mean, he made it to the NBA Finals all 4 years with the Cleveland Cavaliers and the return back there against Golden State. The Bucks are going to do a very similar strategy, I think, with Giannis, yes. And I brought it up yesterday with Mitch Nellis on the Mason Crosby show. 2 players in NBA history have had a 40% usage rate or more in a season, and they are Russell Westbrook and James Harden back in their MVP seasons.
Makes sense.
I think that Giannis is going to be sniffing that. I do think his minutes restriction is going to be interesting as to how that's going to be, but I think that the Milwaukee Bucks are going to run through Giannis even more so. And I know you guys had a conversation on whether or not he might average a triple-double or not this season. I think that would be the dream for the Milwaukee Bucks, that Giannis just gets the stat pad. I think they're trying to get him an MVP again. On top of that, they think that's probably the most successful way for them to win.
That'd be pretty exciting, man. If he averages a triple-double, if he goes out there as like a 30-point triple-double too, I mean, who can look at that and not say he is one of the top 3 greatest players of all time? Like, that'd be pretty nuts. It is Wisconsin Sports Weekend live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sports Book. If you want to tell us if Horst and Doc eased your tensions over this whole Giannis trade rumor situation happening this offseason, let us know on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line 414-677-1250, or you can hit us up at the Fan Milwaukee on Facebook and Twitter, and on our YouTube live stream at the Fan Fan Milwaukee on YouTube. Any of those places, let us know what you think about these comments. When we come back, it'll be On the Green with Mason Crosby and Mitch Thunder Nellis. They are with Jason Brindowski of the River Club in Mequon. We will be right back.
Latest on the PGA Tour. What course do you need to get out and play? What's the latest from the local golf pro? It's time for On the Green, presented by Alice Windows, Doors, and More on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis. Presented by Verizon, Milwaukee's #1 network, broadcasting live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
This is On the Green with Mason Crosby. We do it every week at Friday at this time, but Mason is going to be in Bermuda, probably not golfing, though maybe.
I was trying to set up something, but I don't think I'm going to have any time.
I'll bet you are. He's out on Friday, and so we're doing it on Wednesday. We will replay it on Friday, and then, of course, we replay it every Saturday on Wisconsin Sports Weekend with Charlie and Jack as well. Mason, take it away, my friend.
All right. Yes, welcome to the On the Green segment, and we have Jason Brindowski, head golf pro of the River Club of Mequon. You can go find them at riverclubofmequon.com. They're open. Schedule a tour. Find your home at their club. So, Jason, just hit us up. Tell us what's going on there at River Club of Mequon and why you love working there and what a great place it is.
Yeah, thanks, Mason. Thanks, Thunder, for having me on.
You bet.
Yeah, really appreciate it. So, fantastic facility here, fantastic private club in Mequon. 27 holes of golf, which is awesome. Great to have 27 holes of golf. Full driving range, short game area, practice facilities. If you're not a golfer, we have 8 pickleball courts, 2 tennis courts, multiple restaurants. We have an arcade room for the kids.
Nice.
Outdoor pool, splash pad, fitness center. And then we also have a 500-person banquet private events facility. So we host
those big Wisconsin weddings, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then we do Monday outings as well. So charity outings, corporate outings, any of those we service. So, yeah, it's a great place to be, great place to bring your family out. Very welcoming. Membership is fantastic, growing as always. So really fortunate to be here and love working here every day.
Mason, I'm going to jump in real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Because Jason, as a North Shore guy myself, I've been up there many times. I'm not a golfer, so like I actually go into the arcade room and play the arcades. And the number of like what
it's
I
not
love,
just for the kids, Jason.
It's really not.
Right.
What I love is the number of bar mitzvahs I've been there for
nice.
and so like not just those, but like any kid's birthday party, like to see the kids take over the arcade is just like I'm trying to play a game and there's like 30 kids running around. It is an awesome experience there.
Yeah, it's wild. Pop-a shot, air hockey, everything you can.
Wow, loaded up. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, Jason, I was looking at the website and honestly, one of the the better club websites that I've seen. Like it was just like, oh my gosh, yes, I want to go there. Tell everybody too, like how can they schedule a tour? How can they come and see the facilities and look into becoming a member there at River Club of Mequon?
Yeah, absolutely. So on the website, you can find all the information to come out and take a tour. Alexandra Vrampis is our membership director. You can reach out with her. But yeah, if you're looking to schedule any outings or private events, you can get a hold of anyone here at the club. Our general manager, John Robinson, myself, Alex, John Sill, our private events director. Any of those people can help with tours or setting up any type of events. So we welcome everybody.
Awesome. We got Jason Brindowski, the head golf pro at River Club of Mequon. Go to riverclubofmequon.com and find out all the information about this awesome club. I am watching Wimbledon right now, and I know you mentioned, so it fits into On the Green because they're playing on the grass. Sure. Talk a little bit about some of that as well. Like I know you mentioned the pickleball courts, the tennis courts. I saw that there's a fitness center. Are you a fan of tennis and all that? I was watching these guys, Sinner and Shelton. I think Shelton just hit one of his serves 140 miles an hour, which is wild. Insanity. But yeah, so talk about some of that fun stuff because like for me, it's like finding a club and doing all that. It's also like what does it offer for my kids, for my family, and all of those things. So I think those are always important as people are considering going places.
And throw in pickleball also because pickleball obviously we know has exploded.
Did you convert some of the tennis courts to pickleball courts? I mean, 8 pickleball courts is awesome.
Yeah, no, we did. So we originally, when we were designed, we had 4 tennis courts and we took 2 of the farther courts away and we turned them into the 8 pickleball courts. And since we've put them in, they've been nonstop busy. I mean, pickleball is growing so fast, and it's fun. It is so much fun to be out there and playing it. Junior golf, junior pickleball, junior tennis. We have campers here all through the summer as well. Everyone gets to utilize it.
Nice.
We set up leagues and open play nights and stuff like that on the pickleball court. So. It's really phenomenal to have that here and be able to offer our membership that.
Awesome. Jason, something we ask on the green segment to our golf pros and the people that jump on, just if somebody is getting into golf or, is established and wants to like get their game better and in better shape, coming to a golf pro, kind of what are some lessons or some things that you will start with to get them off on the right track? Just if you can tell our listeners some tips that can help them get their golf game going in the right direction.
Yeah, it's funny because it's not just for the beginners. It's not for people that have just picked up a golf club. It's for your competitive players, your high handicappers, low handicappers. Everybody that is in the game knows that there needs to be some practice involved. So some of the basic stuff that we like to work on here is obviously our fundamentals, our grip, our posture, ball position, stance, that type of thing. But again, I would say don't be afraid to try it. Don't be afraid to try anything. There's no cookie cutter way to swing the golf club. Everybody's different. So don't think that you can't swing one way or have to swing this way. It really is trial and error. And the more you can get out and practice, the more lessons you can take, the more you can kind of fight through that kind of stuff. So, but we're always going back to fundamentals. Posture and grip are 2 major factors that will really help you swing the golf club a lot easier.
I love it. Jason Brindowski on the green with Mason Crosby. He is at the River Club of Mequon. You can check it out at riverclubofmequon.com. Get out there, schedule a tour. Get a charity event rolling.
Yes.
It just looks amazing. I have not played River Club, so Jason, this is my little plug. I need to, next time I'm in town, I'm coming to see you.
Out.
All right, and maybe you could help me out because we talk about the. I talk about the mental side of the game all the time. Obviously, what I did for a living, very mental. And so how could you help me if I'm over a 4-foot putt to win a match and I'm more nervous over that than, kicking a 50-yard field goal to win a football game? Do you think you could help me overcome that?
Well, here's the deal. I mean, it's routine, just like it is with kicking, right? You have the exact routine that you're doing. So you have a routine. As soon as you put that ball marker down or you put that golf ball down and pick up that ball marker, you're going through that routine, whether it's 2 practice strokes, check your grip, look at the golf ball, look at the hole, back at the golf ball. Those types of things can kind of ease the mind and ease the mental side of things. So you're not thinking about missing the putt or, if this is the win your Nassau, your bet with your buddies or anything like that. So
I love that.
Really hammering that routine down helps kind of ease all that pressure.
Nice. That's definitely what I did on the golf or on the football field, but on the golf course, sometimes I just go and it's more fun to pound, try to hit 300-yard drives than go on that putting green and grind over some putts.
Definitely here today.
Jason, tell us a little bit about the member guest event you got coming up.
Yeah, so middle of July here we have our men's invitational, which is called the River Cup. It's our member guest. We have 72 teams with 72 guests that come out all across the country. Nice. We play 5 9-hole rounds. Everyone gets flighted based on handicap into 12 different flights. And then we go out afterwards with all the flight winners and some wild cards, and we do a big shootout. So then everyone gets to drive around, and the bev carts follow, and we have a great time. Obviously, food, drink, award ceremony, dinner with the spouses afterwards. It's a fantastic time.
That's awesome. Yeah, member guests are so much fun, and that aspect. Yeah, you bring the wives out for that first little time, and you let them kind of see what's going on. You keep it a little tame, and then the festivities start for the next couple days, right?
Yeah, they have a great time out there.
Well, I was a member at Oneida Country Club for a long time when I played in Green Bay, and I could never play in the member guest because it was during training camp. So as a member, I never got to do that, and but now I actually go back as a guest these last couple of years and play. So it is such a fun time, and it's awesome that y'all do that. I know that's a huge undertaking for you and your staff, though. So we'll be wishing you luck as y'all prepare for that and get that ready, and then take a breath after.
Nice.
So so tell last kind of couple things I know Mitch has a question. He talked about the arcade, but I do think Mitch needs to ask his question because I think a lot of listeners will resonate with this.
Well, and because you mentioned the couple restaurants, so I've eaten at the bar before. I've eaten in the restaurant before. I brought my mom and my wife there for Mother's Day a few years ago. But last summer I was there for one of my buddies who is a member had his birthday party kind of in that downstairs bar area. And the food was fantastic. But I got to ask you, what's your favorite thing to eat at the River Club of Mequon? You could take anything from the menu. What is your go-to on the menu at any of the spots there?
I'm pretty simple. So I love the good turkey club on a wrap. That's my go-to lunch order here. And the fries are great. Chips are great. So I'm definitely going with the turkey wrap.
Nice. Awesome.
Y'all, do you offer a buffalo chicken wrap or a buffalo chicken of any sort?
Yes, we do.
Okay. I don't know why. I'm a simple guy as well, and it's every time I go to a golf course and they have a buffalo chicken wrap, that's going to be my go-to. So I'll definitely be crushing that whenever.
That's always a good one. That's always a good one.
Exactly. Yep. Well, we got Jason Brindowski on the green with Mason Crosby. He is at the River Club of Mequon. Go to riverclubofmequon.com. Check out all their wonderful things. Where is your membership primarily? Do you have people from all over the area of Milwaukee, or is it, a community tighter group kind of around the club? What is your demographic there usually?
Yeah, we're definitely set inside of a community. We have a lot of housing around the facility where we get a lot of our memberships, and then obviously within Mequon area. But we have members from Saukville and Port Washington all the way down to Tosa and in Milwaukee and South Milwaukee, Oak Creek. So they are driving a long ways to get here up 43. But yeah, it's pretty much all over.
Nice. And just, before we let you go, just give a little plug. What do you feel like sets River Club of Mequon apart from some of the other clubs in the area?
Yeah, well, this is our 5th year anniversary with our corporate partnership with Heritage Golf Group. They're based out of Virginia. They own a lot of facilities up and down the East Coast, and then out into the Midwest, a couple in Illinois. We're the only one in Wisconsin owned by Heritage Golf Group, but since them purchasing us, it's been fantastic. They've sunk a lot of money into the club, the pickleball courts. We did a bunker renovation, new restaurant downstairs, as Thunder was talking about. So yeah, I think having that in our back pocket with the Heritage Golf Group, they've been phenomenal. And again, we really appreciate everything that they've done for the club, and it's thriving. Our membership is the best it's been since I've been here, and hopefully that continues.
Awesome. Well, Jason, I really appreciate you jumping on the green here with us on Wednesday. We're usually on Friday, but appreciate the adjust. And I'm actually, I don't know if you've ever been to Bermuda and golfed out there, and I was looking at a few. There was a course called it's the Mid-Ocean Club, and it's designed by, I guess I'm blanking on his first name, but McDonald. It's an old traditional, old school course, and everybody like famous. I mean, they've had presidents, all these things. Like that's the place to play. And I set up a tee time, and then I was told I couldn't play. So you do what you're told, sometimes, but. Yeah, so go to riverclubofmequon.com, check it out. Either go schedule a tour, go see the facilities, get an event going.
Grab a bite to eat
over there. Yeah, exactly. Or become a member or become a friend of a member and go the member guest.
There you go. That's the best way.
Can I
be a friend, share a friend. Yeah. Yes, go for it.
Okay, so September 13th, it's our Heritage Cares event. It's going to be a 4-player scramble. This is open to the public, so you do not have to be a member to participate. And again, it's called Heritage Cares event, and it benefits, every year we choose a different charity to work with. This year we're choosing Ronald McDonald House of Southeastern Wisconsin.
Nice, they're great.
So half of all our proceeds will go to the Ronald McDonald House, and then the other half goes to our Heritage Golf Group Employee Foundation. So all of the clubs from Heritage put on this event, and this Heritage Golf Group Employee Foundation money goes to any of the employees under Heritage Golf Group that are struggling or need any assistance with anything family-wise or work-wise or health-wise. So a really important event to us. And again, we're open to the public, so hopefully we can get a lot of people signed up for that.
All right, awesome. And they just go to the website, that riverclubofmequon.com, and they can find that info?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Well, Jason Brindowski, head golf pro of River Club of Mequon, really appreciate you jumping on the green with Mason Crosby and Mitch Thunder Nellis on the Mason Crosby show. And I can't wait to get out there and tee it up. So maybe you can give me a couple lessons while I'm there as well.
Definitely. Thank you guys for having me. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Thank you,
Thanks
Jason.
a lot,
Great
Jason.
job.
All right, go Pack.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, go Pack. Gets the go Pack in there at the end.
All right, folks, welcome back into Wisconsin Sports Weekend with Charlie Uczen and Tommy Wortz over there, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sports Book. That was On the Green with Mason Crosby and Mitch Thunder Nellis. If you want to see more from Mason Crosby, well, you should join his Beloit Brouhaha Softball Slam ticket giveaway. In order to win some really cool stuff, join Packers all-time leading scorer Mason Crosby and Hall of Fame wide receiver Jordy Nelson at the Beloit Brouhaha Softball Slam charity softball game on July 27th at ABC Supply Stadium that will feature football legends and Wisconsin and Illinois celebrities like Tommy Wortz and Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. Tommy, you think you're going to home run in this?
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed. Right. If it's like a fence within a fence, softball fence, then I will.
Easy.
I couldn't hit one out 315 to left. I couldn't do that. But 200 feet, all directions, guaranteed.
All right, watch out for T-Dog to be slamming homers in this event here. All these celebrities are going to be raising money for Make-A-Wish Wisconsin. Register for your chance to win tickets at thefanmilwaukee.com. If you go on our website, it's the second post in that little like headliner trio that we got up at the top. Super easy. Click on that. Click the link in the article, and it'll take you right to the opportunity to win some tickets to this event. Again, it's going to be awesome. Sparky's going to be there. Mitch Thunder Nellis, Mason Crosby, Tommy, all your favorites from the station are going to be at the event. I'm working, so I can't go play, but I need money, so, I'll take that too. All right, folks, when we come back, it's going to be the second hour of Wisconsin Sports Weekend. We need to have a real discussion about Andrew Vaughn when we come back, because it seems like he could be a real piece of this Brewers offense. Then we got Mount Pixmore, and as always, we close the show off with the Wisconsin Sports Weekend Pub Crawl. I'm Charlie Uczen. That's Tommy Wortz. It is Wisconsin Sports Weekend, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Hit the shower. Grab your coffee. And get ready to attack the weekend with Charlie Uczen and Jack Pembroke as they catch you up on everything Wisconsin sports you may have missed this past week, all before you even finish your breakfast. It's Wisconsin Sports Weekend, live from 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
How we doing, folks? How we doing? I am Charlie Uczen here. He is not Jack Pembroke on the other side of the glass. That is Tommy Wortz over there. Jack, the Wisconsin Warlock Pembroke, is out at his disc golf tournament, bringing home some hardware. Good luck to him out there. He'll be back next week with me here on Wisconsin Sports Weekend. Tommy, you like that nickname?
I have heard that you've called him the Warlock. I don't know the origins of it, but actually my brother listens quite often to the Weekend show and had said that to me. I'm indifferent, I guess. I'm indifferent. I would like to say if Jack wins a trophy and wins at his disc golf event, he should have to bring it in the studio.
He brought his last one in that he won. It was in here and up here, and then he said he had to take it to the lake house.
We need to have like some sort of shrine of us behind us here, where we could just have everything we do, and you and me will have nothing. It'll just be all Jack stuff.
I have my signed Uczen Ilyasova pennant that I have.
Exactly. We need to deck out this back wall here.
It's too boring.
It is too boring. Yeah, that's the next goal. We have the fan logos all behind the host chair over there. Producer booth needs some love over here.
Yeah, I think we can get something there. So, yeah, we'll get all his trophies up there. It'll be perfect. We'll get my Uczen Ilyasova pennant up there. It'll be perfect.
You got to have like a framed jersey of yours somewhere, right?
No, I do not.
Do you have a jersey from when you played college ball?
I do not.
You don't have a jersey from when you played college ball, hey?
Dude, I went to Elmhurst University.
I get it.
It's not Alabama.
Look, I went to Cudahy High School, and they framed me 2 jerseys while I was there. We won 2 games while I was there.
My big problem is in high school is that I graduated in COVID.
Yeah,
so, like, when they would have given us the jerseys is when we were all stuck at home or right before we were stuck at home. So it was all kind of a little bit of a crap show.
I'm gonna get on the phone with Elmhurst, see if we can get number 77, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we need a replica 77 Elmhurst. Even a practice jersey. Just something like
That's
super dirty, grimy up here. Like, we don't want this one anymore. That's what we want.
It might be kind of sick if it was dirty and grimy. Like, it's real. It's real.
Yeah.
All right. It is Wisconsin Sports Weekend live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. If you guys missed the first hour of the show, you can head back on your free Odyssey app, head back on YouTube on our live stream, and you can rewind the show there or on the free Odyssey app. Hear any of the first couple segments. We talked about Jacob Misiorowski. Does he deserve to be an all-star after being named one last night? Did John Horst and Doc Rivers ease everybody's tension about the whole Giannis trade rumor situation that's been going on this entire offseason? Or you missed On the Green with Mason Crosby and Mitch Thunder Nellis as they talked with Jason Brindowski of the River Club in Mequon. All of those great segments, be sure to tune back into each of those. Again, either at The Fan Milwaukee on YouTube or on your free Odyssey app. We are live streaming currently at The Fan Milwaukee on YouTube, so be sure to subscribe, like on there. You can check out all the interviews from the station in the past. Now we want to get into, in the second hour of Wisconsin Sports Weekend here, the offensive side of things for the Milwaukee Brewers. So like I said, we talked about Jacob Misiorowski in the first segment, and that's a lot of fun. He's a lot of fun to watch right now. Somebody else who's a lot of fun to watch right now is our guy Andrew Vaughn. He was traded by the Brewers for Aaron Savali. They sent him over there after he decided he didn't want to be a bullpen pitcher, so they basically just sent him all the way to the worst possible place you can be at any given moment, which is the Chicago White Sox. And then they brought back former top prospect Andrew Vaughn, who hadn't really worked out with the White Sox up to this point. In 4 appearances with the Milwaukee Brewers so far, he's recorded a hit in each of those 4 appearances, including 2 home runs and a big home run last night to kind of blow open this game for the Milwaukee Brewers. Tommy, did you think that Andrew Vaughn getting in return in this trade would have as quick of an impact as he's had for this Milwaukee Brewers team?
No, I definitely didn't think the impact would be there, but I did say we do have the conversation on record here with me and Sparky that it was probably the best return I thought the Brewers could get. I didn't know if they would get a major league experienced player for Aaron Savali during that trade, but it worked out very well in favor for the Milwaukee Brewers. Not to mention also, Charlie, Andrew Vaughn has an RBI in each of his first 4 games with the Brewers. Vaughn is the first player in franchise history to drive in a run in each of his first 4 games with the team. He was the first player since Travis Shaw to do it in his first 3 games, but he's the first player to ever do it in his first 4 career games. I don't think a 1,500 OPS for the rest of the year, like he's sitting at right now, is very possible for Andrew Vaughn. But I do think that there is something to be said about what they have done now at the first base position after Rhys Hoskins struggled all of June and now is going to miss still probably a month at least of the season. The Brewers got very, very fortunate with this deal for Andrew Vaughn, and he has really brought something to Milwaukee at that first base position. And you can see it in his approach. He looks a lot happier. He's got a really strong swing on top of it. He's a stocky guy. It's something the Brewers needed was pop in their lineup, and he's providing that right now in his first 4 games at least.
So with Andrew Vaughn providing that pop, like you say, and Rhys Hoskins will eventually come back this season. Yes, it's still going to be another month or so as from what we've heard, but that can always change. He can come back a little bit earlier. He's still going to come back before the playoffs start here, so he's going to be a part of this team. What do you think this means for a guy like Jake Bauers, especially as a guy like Blake Perkins gets healthier? I know you love you some Jake Bauers.
I know I do.
But, I mean, he's obviously kind of the odd man out if Andrew Vaughn continues to play at this level, right?
Yeah, I think so. And I do think that what helps him is the outfield flexibility with him right now. We had thought or heard, at least with Andrew Vaughn, that he was very similar to that, right? He has that outfield flexibility to play one of the corner outfield positions. He has not done that in Major League Baseball since 2022. He's only ever played first base since 2023. You're talking about 150-game season in 23, 149-game season in 24, and he's played 52 games so far in 2025. So this is a guy who in his last 350 games has not played outfield at all in Major League Baseball. So I do think that that does help Jake Bauers a little bit. Now, is it really beneficial to have him on this team right now? I can understand why you also don't believe in that. But it feels like if Andrew Vaughn can be hot all of this month, can he go on that Vinny Capra spring training run to save him a spot on this team? We're going to find out in the next 2 weeks. Deadline is the last day of July, I believe, for the MLB trade deadline. They're going to have to make some sort of move. And I wondered, I have to ask Drew about this on the leadoff show, but I thought it was weird because they put Hoskins on the 10-day IL. And wondering if that meant there might be some movement with him coming out, because you can't trade someone who's on the IL. You can't put him on the 60-day IL. I understand that. But there is a 15-day IL as well, I believe. So I was wondering why they made that decision when Hoskins straight up said, I'm not coming back till August at a point. That makes it interesting to see if he might be a guy who could be moved around. But one of those guys, it feels like, will not be on the team. And by one of those guys, it means like Rhys Hoskins and Jake Bauers, and probably defaulting to Jake Bauers.
What do you think the value is of each of those guys right now? I mean, Rhys Hoskins, yes, just talent-wise is probably a little bit more valuable than a guy like Jake Bauers. Jake Bauers was somebody who, before this season, was almost not on the Milwaukee Brewers, just kind of came back because they needed somebody to fill a spot, and it just has been a revelation. Rhys Hoskins has done it in the past, but is coming off an injury, may not be back for another month. What do you get in return for these guys?
I don't know. Can you get a major leaguer for Jake Bauers?
I don't think so.
I don't know if you can as well. And so I think that maybe there'll be some sort of package with that if they have to throw in some prospects. I mean, I am really nervous. I don't think there's anyone really on the market that would be a threat to take a top prospect away from the Brewers. But if they want to really make a splash at a left side of the infield position, whether it's shortstop, third base, move some guys around in the infield, they're going to have to give up some sort of top prospect. Their farm is just loaded right now with a great talent. I don't know if it means that I would still like to think that Made, Pena, and Misiorowski are off the table. Those are guys that are non-tradables. But after that, Cooper Pratt is really struggling to find a spot on this team in the future now here with 2 top prospects ahead of him and Bryce Terang still within the organization. I think that the conversations of Andrew Vaughn being serious, maybe pump the brakes on 5 games, but then again, Jacob Misiorowski, within his 5 games, he's already an all-star. So that's where I'm at with that argument.
And we told ourselves not to freak out about a Jacob Misiorowski too after that first game. We're like, we have to see him a couple more times. We saw him like 2 more times, and it was freak out. We're done this season.
No, we are done being realistic with that option for sure. But Andrew Vaughn, he's got a great opportunity for the next 2 weeks to be locked up on this major league roster for the rest of the season.
Right, and I think he has the tools to bring out a big value for this Milwaukee Brewers team. It is Wisconsin Sports Weekend, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We are asking you, is it time to have a real discussion about Andrew Vaughn? Is it time to start talking about him as a vital, maybe not vital, but a kind of consistent part of this Brewers offense moving forward after he's been hot for his first 4 games with this team. You can hit us up at The Fan Milwaukee on Facebook and Twitter. Also on YouTube at The Fan Milwaukee. You can also just look up The Fan Milwaukee now and it'll come up for you. And you can see us live streaming on YouTube. Any of our old videos you can catch on there as well. But feel free to come on into the live stream, comment on there to answer this question for us.
Another thing for you here, Charlie,
Yeah,
that I would just be open to as well. He does have third base flexibility in his career in Major League Baseball. It hasn't been since his rookie season, but he did have some reps over there. Do you think that they may explore some options with Andrew Vaughn at this rate where he can play on the field? His rookie season, for instance, he played second base, third base, first base, right field, and left field. His second season, he played second base, first base, left field, and right field. He did not play third base that year, but if they are talking about how this guy is a versatile player, and when he got brought over, everyone had said he's a first base outfielder, even though he hasn't played outfield since 2022 during his major league career, do you think that the Brewers could explore more options at where Andrew Vaughn could play on the field based on some previous history in Major League Baseball to find him a spot on this team?
If they don't find another trade. If they don't find something else to fill one of those spots at either shortstop or third base, yes, maybe. But at the same time here, like we've said, you have such a stacked farm system and pieces at the major league level that you would be willing to move on from. Guys like Hoskins, like Bowers, like Jose Quintana, who are all probably going to be on the trade market. And then you have a guy like Logan Henderson, in my mind, is probably not going to be a Milwaukee Brewer after this trade deadline.
Ooh, really?
I feel like that's a guy who's going to be pretty enticing to a lot of teams in this Brewers.
What about Chad Patrick? I think he might be more enticing even. Henderson did show a lot more in 3 starts. I get that. But Patrick also learned on the job all year, had 19 starts and had a sub-4 ERA, and has just had a great outing in Nashville yesterday, too. It was actually his season debut with AAA yesterday, which is weird to say, but he was a Triple Crown winner in minor league baseball a season ago as well. He could have some sort of value as well, and he probably has the, no disrespect, least exciting stuff of a lot of these Brewers prospect pitchers right now. Do you think Chad Patrick could be also worried about his where he might lie on the Brewers roster in the future?
Maybe. I just feel like when you're comparing guys in that minor league system, so like let's just say Logan Henderson and Chad Patrick, I think Logan Henderson's floor in the eyes of a lot of teams across the league is a lot higher than Chad Patrick's is. And I think Chad Patrick, yes, he was a Triple Crown winner last year and he pitched well for the Brewers this year, but a lot of teams recognize the Milwaukee Brewers as one of the best pitching organizations in all of Major League Baseball. They find ways to just make guys work. And I think prior to Chad Patrick being that Triple Crown winner, he didn't carry that same kind of hype with him. And because of that, I think his value is just going to be lower. And this Milwaukee Brewers team, I think right now they have a great opportunity to go out and get a key piece for this organization at the major league level. I think trading a guy like Logan Henderson, when you have a Chad Patrick, when you can keep him around and keep him playing at his highest level, when you have a Robert Gasser coming back, when you have a lot of these other pieces that are in that minor league system, and your ability to turn veteran players around if you need to at some point, I think you can afford to give up a guy like Logan Henderson and not be stingy with a guy like Chad Patrick instead.
Yeah, and they thought the same about Shane Smith, right?
Yep.
And now look at him in Chicago. I would be disappointed if Logan Henderson doesn't have some sort of major league career with the Milwaukee Brewers. I think he had some exciting stuff. His changeup is obviously big league ready. It's really about developing that third pitch for him, right? That's what, whether it's a slider or a curveball or however a splitter, sinker, whatever he wants to bring into his arsenal. He was very much a 2-pitch pitcher in the Major League Baseball scene when we saw Logan Henderson, and a lot of people were outraged he even didn't get more opportunities in Major League Baseball. So I would lean, you can argue, hey, you've seen a lot more out of Chad Patrick. This is a guy who didn't have any Major League experience, and you could try to make him more enticing to a team to trade off. I don't know if they can do the same with Tobias Myers. I think he's probably invaluable right now. Looking at the rest of it, they're not going to get rid of Hall or Gasser or any of the other guys that are still coming off of an injury season. I would like to see Chad Patrick maybe be throwing his name around in some trade rumors as well, just because he's not going to have an opportunity to get back up with this club. And if they do have someone injured who can't pitch later on in the season, they still have Henderson in the chamber.
Yeah, I think either way, the Brewers are in a good position. I think no matter what, they have or are holding all the cards in the trade deadline this year. And I think a lot of teams are going to have to buy from the Brewers. And if they trade Patrick, if they were to trade Henderson, I think either way, they're still going to come out of that trade better off right now for this team.
I'm also worried that it might be one of the weaker trade deadlines
that is true
in
too.
MLB history right now, at least recent history. I don't know. There's not going to be a Juan Soto move, right? There's nothing like that. Eugenio Suarez terrifies me as a trade for the Brewers. It just is a guy who I could totally see either being, a 1,200 OPS guy or a 500 OPS guy while he's with the Brewers. He's a guy who's very streaky. He's had a very good start to the season. Absolutely should be an enticing piece for a Major League ball club. The move just really scares me for the Milwaukee Brewers, and it's not a guy that I can feel myself thinking, go and get this guy. You need to go get this guy. It would be something like an Eddie Escobar trade when they made that move. It just felt a little underwhelming, but everyone wanted him, and maybe it was a forced trade a little bit. I'm not sold on Suarez. I would love for the Brewers to be working on something that would shock the MLB world because they give up a trade haul for him.
I would say Suarez, in my mind, feels more like Moose when they trade for Moustakas.
Yeah, I guess.
And I think he's just a better player than Eddie Escobar was at that point when the Brewers traded for him. That was more just it kind of just felt like a trade to get fans to shut up.
If the Brewers were to go out and make a trade for just someone crazy, right? I mean, imagine Jose Ramirez, right?
Austin Riley,
right?
From the struggling
Austin
Braves.
Riley, yeah, another one. Just something like that move. Then you can talk about giving up one of those top prospects because you have some contract under those guys. You are talking about two teams who are completely lost in their direction. If they were able to go out, hey, you give up Austin Riley and you give up one of these, Peñas, Mades, Cueros, Pratts, whatever it is, then I could be a little more enticed by giving up some of the farm. But as far as the players that are expected to be traded at the deadline, it's a pretty underwhelming crop.
Fair enough. I understand. It is Wisconsin Sports Weekend live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We are going to take a quick break. Before that, at 2 p.m. today, you can hear Tommy Wortz live again with the Fan on the leadoff show as the Brewers get set to face off against the Washington Nationals once again. They killed them last night. You can hear Tommy Wortz and all his great knowledge on the Milwaukee Brewers farm system. You can hear from the manager and the star players the night before. Should be a lot of fun. It's always very knowledgeable with Tommy Wortz on the leadoff show, so be sure to tune in with him at 2 p.m. right here on The Fan or on YouTube at The Fan Milwaukee. Right there, you can see him talk about the Milwaukee Brewers. All right, coming up next, it is time for Mount Pixmore. We will be right back. Welcome back into Wisconsin Sports Weekend. I am Charlie Uczen. That is Tommy Wortz on the other side of the glass there. We are live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and it's a little past 10:20 here, which means it's time for Mount Pixmore. If you guys are brand new to Mount Pixmore here on Wisconsin Sports Weekend, usually when Jack is here, me and him go back and forth. We each pick 2 picks each week. From Prize Picks, we head over there, find any sport, any prop that we like, and we go ahead and we make our picks. If those picks from the previous week hit, we keep either the player or the prop on the mountain. This week, we did really bad, like really, really bad. Looks in our last Mount Pixmore. If we start off first here with Jack's side of things, he had Paige Beckers, rookie guard for Dallas in the WNBA. They were going up against Washington. He picked her to have more than 14.5 points. She did not play in that game. So that that did not end up very good. That was a little unfortunate.
Yes. I love that. I love that for Jack. That's awesome.
That was a little unfortunate. So she gets kicked off the mountain here. We get the fresh, brand new face and prop on there, whatever Tommy wants to do. His other pick, Jack's other pick, Christian Benteke. I don't know if you've heard of Christian Benteke.
Is he a soccer player?
He is a soccer player. I learn a lot about soccer with being on air with Jack. Yeah. He starts to teach me about the game a little bit.
If I don't know who someone is, I assume they're a soccer player. Yes.
Do you learn a lot about soccer being with Mason Crosby on that show? Like, have you been?
I shut him down every time he tries to talk about soccer. I mean, I feel like I can ask about soccer and golf a little bit more, and I do enjoy golf a lot more than I enjoy soccer as well. But yeah, I think he wants me to be all in on it. I have seen soccer over in Europe, and that was a fun experience, but as far as will I ever watch it on TV, probably not.
I've been starting to. Since Jack has brought it into my attention, like when he brings up some of these games, I've been trying to like at least find clips of the games, watch a little bit. Christian Benteke is a forward for DC, or attacker, excuse me. It's a different thing. I thought it was the same thing. Jack had explained to me last show.
Okay.
So attacker for DC United going up against Nashville in the MLS. He was supposed to have more than half a shot on target. He took one shot in the game and it was not on target.
Wasn't that? I actually do remember listening to this last week. Wasn't he like, dude, he takes so many shots. He takes so many shots. Gamble responsibly. Gamble responsibly, everyone.
I think, like, in the past with the soccer, this might be the first soccer one Jack has missed. So, like, I'll give him credit. Usually he's right about these.
Kid knows ball.
And I was looking at Christian Benteke. Other games, he's usually at, like, that 1 to 2 at least shot on target. So this was kind of bogus. I feel like they just didn't give him the opportunity in this game. My picks on the side of things, I was very confident with my first pick. That was Rhys Hoskins with more than half a home run. I said that in the 4th inning, Rhys Hoskins was going to have a 3-run home run. I said you could book it, and then he did not have that. He did not get a hit for that entire game. That was against Colorado. That's why I was pretty confident. I was like, oh, they're in Colorado, man. It's going to be easy home run. He just could not get it done for me, and then he got hurt. So then that was a little unfortunate. And then my other one, I thought I was pretty confident about this one too. So Mickey Sudo in the hot dog eating contest, the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest. She's one of the best, I guess, professional eaters. Is that what they're called?
That's what they're
Just
called.
Professional eaters. All right, she's one of the best professional eaters in the world right now. Last year at the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest, she had 51 hot dogs. So I thought this was like a slam, easy. I also thought Joey Chestnut at 71 and a half?
71 and a half, yeah.
I thought that was a slam too. So both of them disappointed me a little bit. They had Mickey Sudo at 45.25 hot dogs. I was easily more of that. She had 33. So she just got crushed.
Wow. Yeah.
Didn't even come close.
That's not even, what a terrible line for
her. But she
yeah.
won, too. So that means she said she was very disappointed in her performance. She came out and said that publicly afterwards. Which
some amateur eater status.
Fair enough,
yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. So, like, who's competing in these games? I think I could get in on professional eating at this point. And
really?
I could be a competitor.
I have seen professional eating live. It's a grind. It's kind of off-putting, especially because someone will throw up at these events. It just happens every year. But I have faith in you. I would sponsor you.
All right. We'll make it work. I think we could do like live streams of me.
With how much Mitch
professionally
Nellis eats too, like he
we
probably
could have, like, a whole
could-
team
Yeah,
here, man.
yeah, a fan eating team. I could see that.
I think
see
we could
that.
make it work. All right, so now that we went through the last show's picks, we didn't hit on any of them. So every single thing is going to be brand new on the mountain. I'm going to start with Tommy over there. Tommy, what is your first pick to be put up on Mount Pixmore this week?
First pick, this is my Mount Pixmore debut, so I'm going to try to just say Aaron Judge hits a home run today, all right? Aaron Judge is an absolute freak. Yankees are going up against the Cubs today. They hit a lot of home runs yesterday. They are in that Mickey Mouse ballpark of Yankee Stadium. Aaron Judge, I'm going to say he hits a homer today off of the Chicago Cubs.
All right, I like that. I think that's a pretty easy one to put out there. The Yankees also put up 11 runs yesterday against the Cubs. The Cubs didn't put anything up. I think they're going to come out a little angry in this game. They kind of have to come out angry in this game because if the Brewers continue to play as well as they have against the Nationals, this is going to be a pretty rough all-star break for that team and kind of where they're supposed to be at this point. So that's going to be really exciting to see. What is your other pick on the mountain there, Tommy?
Yeah, I'm sticking with baseball here, and I don't know how you feel about fantasy baseball, but I am a big no, I'm not really. I don't like it. I hate how attentive you have to be. Same with fantasy basketball. It's my fault, not the product's fault. I understand that. But Ellie De La Cruz going up against Colorado Rockies today, going over on his 9.5 fantasy points. So every base is a point. A single through home run goes 1 to 4. A walk is a point. RBI is a point. Run's a point. If he gets hit by a pitch, it's a point. Stolen bases worth 2 points. So I like the number there for Ellie De La Cruz. Maybe, 2 hits in the contest, 2 runs, 2 stolen bases, and then we get there. Something like that. I think he has a big day in Colorado.
Well, I think stolen bases are going to be easy for him. Colorado's had one of the worst catcher batteries in all of baseball, like by far, like historically bad catcher battery.
Yeah.
Like they have some of the worst pop time in the history of baseball. It's kind of nuts. So I think it's a guaranteed 2 stolen bases from him there. If he gets on base.
Strikeouts, you do lose a point, I believe, though, as well, too. So that is something always a part of Ellie De La Cruz's game, but I like him to have a big day.
All right, I like that. Aaron Judge to homer and Ellie De La Cruz with more than 9.5 fantasy points for Tommy Wortz on his side of Mount Pixmore there. On my side, I wanted to double up too on a sport, but I'm going over to the NBA Summer League. This afternoon at 3 p.m., number 1 overall pick Cooper Flagg will be taking on number 2 overall pick Dylan Harper. Cooper Flagg for Dallas, Dylan Harper for San Antonio. I have Cooper Flagg more than 18.5 points in this game. I think it's pretty safe to say he's going to come out here. I believe this is his Summer League debut. He's going to come out and just ball out. You have to put on
Cooper?
a show. Yeah.
He played against Bronny, remember?
Yep,
it's second,
right.
but he was
Second
very underwhelming against
Second
Bronny.
game.
I think he only had 10 points in the contest. So, yeah, he definitely is going to have to ball out once in Summer League.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is a good game to do it again against the number 2 overall pick. You had your kind of licks in the first game. You get through that. In the second game here, you show them who you are. You show why you're that number 1 overall pick. With my second pick on Mount Pixmore here, I'm going to go with the Milwaukee Bucks Summer League team in their second game of the Summer League. Right now, they're going up against Cleveland. That game's at 2:30. I have Chris Livingston, a guy that I was rooting for last season to get some run with the Milwaukee Bucks and then just never got to that point. Maybe this year could be the year, especially if he shows out in Summer League. I have him with more than 21 points, rebounds, and assists. This Bucks Summer League team feels like one where you're going to get a different guy every game, I feel like, showing out. Maybe this is a Chris Livingston game. Do you feel like you have any confidence in a guy like Chris Livingston to carve out any kind of role with the Milwaukee Bucks at this point in his career?
It's going to be tough at this point in his career. We've seen, I don't think the Bucks are done making moves even as well this offseason. I'm confident that a buyout will happen from a player and then the Bucks will find someone else to bring in on another veteran guy to lead with this team. I don't think they want to get younger necessarily this season and in the way that Chris Livingston is getting younger for this team. So I will say that I'm probably leaning that Chris Livingston will have a role on the Bucks Summer League team. I don't necessarily see him being a part of the NBA roster for the Milwaukee Bucks. But I like the pick for Summer League action, absolutely, because that is what we see in Summer League all the time. So we're going over our picks one more time here for Mount Pixmore. Ellie De La Cruz over 9.5 points. Aaron Judge 2 homer. Cooper Flagg, plus 18.5 points. Charles Livingston, sorry, Charlie. Chris Livingston, plus 21 PRA, 21 points, rebounds, and assists.
I think this is a pretty good lineup we have here.
I like it.
We have a guest you're very familiar with on the line here. We got Dave in Cudahy wanted to give his thoughts on Mount Pixmore. Dave, what do you got for us here?
What's up, Dave?
First of all, I'm going to tell you right now, Mickey Shudo, 33 hot dogs in 10 minutes. I'm almost certain Tommy and I have both done that in less than half the time at some point. I'm just saying.
We'll take.
Now,
all right.
Yeah.
And in terms of picks, I'm going to take over 9.5 angry Sparky mentions to Charlie during Charlie's Sounds of the Day over the course of the next week.
Okay.
And then I'll also take 15.5 over a number of times Tommy gets called TK or Tammy over the course of the next week.
It's just, I mean, this guy's dialed in. He knows. I think those are probably little low lines on the week, but the over on those lines hitting all week for sure. Locks of the week. Dave and Cudahy. Thank you. Love you, Dave.
Have a good one.
He never says it back.
Why won't he ever say it back?
Oh, you know, he
Too
feels
macho?
Yeah, right. He feels like he can. I'm very confident in saying I love you to my brother. Yes.
That's fair. You know, I like that, Tommy. You're in touch with your emotions.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
There you go. That was Mount Pixmore here on Wisconsin Sports Weekend, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sports Book. When we come back here, it is going to be time to pub crawl. But first, I want to let you know about the Mason Crosby Beloit Brouhaha Softball Slam, and we are giving away tickets to it. If you join Packers all-time leading scorer Mason Crosby and Hall of Fame wide receiver Jordy Nelson at the Beloit Brouhaha Softball Game, a charity softball game on July 27th at ABC Supply Stadium that will feature football legends and Wisconsin and Illinois celebrities like Sparky Fifer, like Tommy Wortz, like Mitch Thunder Nellis. They will be raising money for Make-A-Wish Wisconsin. If you head over to thefanmilwaukee.com, you can register for your chance to win a few tickets to meet all these great celebrities out at that game and help raise a little money for some charity. If you head over to thefanmilwaukee.com, it's on the front page, the second headline story in our little box, a little trio that we got on the front page there. You can click on that, click the link, and you can register to win some tickets. Like I said, when we come back, it'll be time to crawl.
Did we miss anything during the show? Maybe we didn't. It's time for the Wisconsin Sports Weekend Pub Crawl with Charlie Uczen and Tommy Wortz.
I don't know if you've been on the pub crawl since we changed the music.
No.
But since Jack has Irish heritage, we decided we wanted like the pub music.
Okay.
Like a little tap dance, type of stuff.
Little
I think
jig.
it works out.
Make a jig to it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. So I've been a fan of it. I've been keeping it around a little bit. Right now, we are going to pub crawl, like the big voice lady just said, on Wisconsin Sports Weekend, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. If you guys have never joined a pub crawl with me and Jack or me and Tommy, don't worry. We just go back and forth, talk about all the things we may have missed throughout this week, stuff that may not have been able to get a full segment on the show. Either or, we got some great stories for you guys to follow along with. To start off on the pub crawl here, I'll go first. I wanted to talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo announcing his brand new shoe, the Giannis Freak 7. I think these are by far the best shoes that he's come out with. I love the look of them. If you guys haven't seen them, they are orange and black with the Nike swoosh pink and then a little smaller one on an angle on the other side. The bottom of the shoe, if you turn around, the sole of it actually has his name. It has Antetokounmpo written on the bottom. And then if you flip it around, the other side of the sole, which is black and orange as well, is the skyline of Milwaukee.
Ah, that's what that is. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at them right now. They're fire. I'm cool with it. I like the backwards Nike on his shoes, too. Yeah, they look smooth. I'm okay with that.
I'm a big fan. I think I may have to get a pair. I need new shoes. So these ones are falling apart.
I will maybe.
All right. Tommy, what do you got up on the pub crawl here, my man?
First one I want to get to. Katie Taylor defeating Amanda Serrano yesterday. It was on Netflix, so you could have watched it if you have a Netflix account. It was the first ever trilogy of a women's boxing match. Katie Taylor won fight one fight two a little more controversially, so they thought, hey, why not? Let's have a third one. Katie Taylor wins a little more convincing fashion, wins by major decision, 2 scores of 97-93. One judge did have it even at 95-95, but Amanda Serrano obviously getting a massive load of stardom from being on the undercards of Jake Paul fights, being the knockout artist that she is. Found her kryptonite for sure. Katie Taylor 3-0 against her in her career now.
How big of a deal is it that this was the first women's boxing trilogy like you're talking about here? Like, I'm not a big boxing fan. I don't follow along that much, but I know when you get to that third fight, that's usually the one everybody wants to watch. What does this mean for, like, women's boxing?
It was an all-women's card yesterday in Madison Square Garden. They sold it out, so 19,000 were there, plus they estimated 2.6 million watched on Netflix as well. I think it's great, and you want to showcase the top-end talent. Serrano was a little bit more popular of a name when the second fight came out, I think, even though Katie Taylor beat her in fight one. Now you're putting Katie Taylor on the map, too, and it'll only make more opportunities probably for her fighting career in the future.
Very cool. That's awesome. Good for them. Good for the sport of boxing and women's boxing specifically. That's awesome to hear. Heading back over to the MLB, like we were talking about earlier in the show, Jacob Misiorowski is going to be in the All-Star game. Trevor McGill is going to be in the All-Star game. Both these guys are going to have a chance, if they get into the game, to use ABS for the first time, as the MLB will be planning to use ABS in this year's All-Star game. If you do not know what that means, that's the automatic ball and strike system that they're going to be rolling out probably within the next 2 seasons here for the entire major league. Something they've been working on in the minor leagues, but it's where the pitchers can challenge a ball or strike call, or the batters can as well. Either way, if they don't agree with where the pitch is, they can go to the system, which shows them accurately where the ball was, and they can overturn their calls with the umpires. This is going to be really exciting. Tommy, are you excited for it?
No, you know me. I'm anti-ABS. I hate it. You're going to realize games will slow down, and that is something that the Major League Baseball is trying to avoid. I understand they want to get the calls correct. There's a lot of money invested in these sports and professional organizations, gambling sites, wherever it is. I get you want to have the call correct, but I promise you games are going to increase by 5 to 10 minutes. Whether that's going to make a real big deal or not, I am not a fan of it. If you have a bad umpire, it's going to be a long day behind the plate.
I mean, they spent all this time trying to speed up these games.
Yes.
And now this is only going to slow things down. I know it's supposed to be super quick. The umpires are supposed to be able to get it through. But, I mean, it already takes 15 seconds for a coach or a manager to decide if they want to challenge a call. Players are probably going to be in that same boat a little bit if they're not sure about it, if it's in a situation where it's a close game and you can't make that call. I mean, this is all just going to slow it all down, which is what we don't want. Baseball's been fun to watch, man.
Yes, baseball is probably at the best it's been since the early 2000s right now.
Exactly. Tommy, what do you got up next on the pub crawl here, my man?
Yeah, this is a story that came out this week that I don't know if it really got enough coverage on any of our shows, but Najee Harris, if you saw this, sustained an eye injury after a fireworks mishap on July 4th. His agent, Doug Hendrickson, told ESPN's Adam Schefter. Hendrickson said the injury was superficial and that Harris is expected to be ready for the upcoming NFL season. The mishap resulted in injuries to several attendees at this, Najee Harris just being one of them. Did we not learn from JPP and Jason Pierre-Paul, just don't set off your own fireworks if you're in the NFL? It's like, go to a park, go to a municipality, wherever you want to go, watch someone else do it. It's not that serious. Obviously, your fireworks distributor, not a trustable source in the future. But, I mean, I don't know what this is going to look like, if Najee Harris can be rocking an eye patch all season or if he can see or not. I don't know the extent of it, but Mitch Nellis actually tipped me off on this earlier before this story came out and asked me if I had heard anything of it. I did not. Literally 3 hours later, Schefter had the story that Najee Harris had an eye injury at the 4th of July. But, hey, NFL players, PSA, don't set off your own fireworks.
You guys are like millionaires, man.
Right.
Like, have literally anybody else do this.
Do you know the Chargers haven't had a 1,000-yard rusher since 2017?
Really?
Melvin Gordon, last time they had a 1,000-yard rusher. Najee Harris, obviously 1,000 yards every year so far in the NFL with the 17-game season. They were looking to have that out of him. Now that is in jeopardy.
I danced with Melvin Gordon to Chief Keef in my high school football locker room.
Hey,
that was pretty awesome.
That's what more could you ask for?
That'll be ingrained in my brain for the rest of my life.
Sounds like we need that Chief Keef record placed up right back here behind us. See if Sparky can memorize it by the end of the year. Just that one record.
He would hate it. That'd be nuts if he knew like Love Sosa. Like out of all the songs that we've talked about.
If Sparky knows Love Sosa, I'll quit right now. There's no shot.
But seriously, yeah, guys, you have enough money. Do like drone shows or something if you want to be involved. Like anything else, Najee Harris, man. This is crazy.
Right, yes.
Next up on the pub crawl here, I wanted to head over to the world of Airbnb, where Michael Jordan's house was sold back in December in Chicagoland area. Is now being turned into an Airbnb. Tommy, if you wanted to stay there for a week, how much do you think it would cost?
Oh gosh, it's going to be a ridiculous price. The house has to be worth $20 million, you'd think, at least. I'm going to say it is a $10,000 a week if you want to stay there.
That's what I thought too when I first saw this. No, it is not a $10,000 week. It is a $120,000 week.
Oh my God.
With that, it is a $25,000 deposit alone. So not even just for the week, you're not even in that $10,000.
I'm gonna make a Michael Jordan B&B bet with Mason Crosby that I can't lose. So he has to hook it up for a week.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Get all of the fan in Michael Jordan's Airbnb.
Yes.
It is a 8-bedroom, 17.5 bathroom, has a full-size gym with a basketball court, full-size movie theater, and a full-size bowling alley.
Let's be real. You're not going to the gym if you're at the Airbnb of Michael Jordan's house.
I'm going to the court.
Yeah, you're going to the court, but you're not like working out while you're there. It's party time the whole time now.
Unless you're just like, I'm Michael Jordan right now. I'm working out where Michael Jordan worked out. That'd be pretty cool.
Just see how much he could bench and then throw one more pound on each side.
Exactly. Tommy, what do you got up next on the pub crawl here?
Well, it's funny you had a living situation because I also have a living situation and a Livy situation. Livy Dunn, the former LSU gymnast, social media darling, as she is posted here in this article from Deadspin. The 22-year-old Sports Illustrated cover model had an offer prepared to buy the $1.6 million New York City apartment that once belonged to Babe Ruth when he played for the Yankees. She had the biggest name, image, and likeness deal when she was in college. However, this is what happened. Guys, I am so upset, she told her 8 million TikTok followers. A few months ago, I decided I was going to make my first real estate purchase, which is so exciting. And I was going to get an apartment in New York City, but the gag was it was Babe Ruth's apartment. Then the week that I'm supposed to get my keys to my brand new apartment, I got a call. The co-op board denied me. So pretty much the people in the building voted to not have me live there, which is fine. I don't know. obviously, with the price tag, it seems like there was a lot older people and more established people living in this apartment complex. But if Livy Dunn's moving into your apartment complex, you're like, go ahead. I mean, why not? Sure.
She's like the Babe Ruth of TikTok.
She's
right?
the Babe Ruth of gymnastics, maybe.
I mean,
Babe Ruth of TikTok is a great line. Yes, I mean, probably. But no, Livy Dunn not allowed to live in this apartment complex that was owned by Babe Ruth based on a board voting on it. I just thought, what a dumb story to be a headline that I had to bring up.
I mean, she's a millionaire, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
1.6 million was the apartment.
Can't you just move into any apartment you want? Like, why are you so, like, heartbroken over this? I guess.
Also, like, we've seen Livy Dunn and Paul Skeens try to be, like, the face of certain events. Yes, of certain things. And they are just so blah personalities that who cares? I mean, maybe there'll be a lot of attention drawn to that apartment complex. I understand that. There's a lot of weirdos out there. But still, like, not because they are problems. It is because their followings are problems.
Right, exactly. And I think that makes sense. I wouldn't want that. And if it's a piece of history, it's a piece of history. You got to leave it and keep it as pristine as possible. All right, last up here on the pub crawl, I want to head over to the NFL, where we have some more professional athletes getting scammed or robbed again and again. This is happening a lot more often, it feels like. Vikings defensive end Dallas Turner was scammed out of $240,000 after someone impersonating a Chase Bank representative told him his identity was being used at a branch in Arizona. This was per the Star Tribune in Minnesota. He wired two $120,000 transfers to secure accounts, in quotes, only later realizing it was a scam. Police have identified subjects and are moving forward towards charges. How do you send it to two secure accounts that you do not know about? Don't you, again, you're a millionaire, dude. Don't you have an accountant for like this type of stuff? Wouldn't they be the ones telling you this?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
maybe a new accountant is underway here, or just some more financial literacy. Didn't we all have to take like business finance in high school? Like, shouldn't that have been an immediate red flag? Like, haven't we all gotten that call that your car warranty has expired? Like, come on, Dallas Turner.
At Elmhurst University, a D3 college where we were not a very good football team, once NIL got implemented into college sports, they had us take a financial literacy course like each year. It was like a 2-day thing where we had to go to like a little seminar talking about like if you were to get money, like what would you do with it, how to put it away, who to talk to about it. I would assume he had that it was Alabama, right, that he went?
He
like,
did,
you would think at Alabama with Nick Saban.
I mean, he majored in football, Charlie.
I know,
let's
but
be
like
real.
that's the type of stuff that like they should be teaching him, somebody who's going to be a future first-round pick. Like, yes, you major in football, but like that's a part of football.
I'm sure he was used to being anti-financially literate with Nick Saban
Fair
providing
enough.
money and whatever could have happened.
enough.
Real quick, last one here on the pub crawl. Futures game tonight. MLB Futures game is tonight. Just one representative, Jesus Made, absolutely got hosed on that. Should have had Pena in there. Obviously, this is when Misiorowski got his first little bump when we saw him strike out a whole bunch of awesome guys. But Jesus Made, keep an eye on that. Number 8 prospect in all of baseball, number 1 in the Brewers organization. Futures game tonight.
That's super exciting. I'm excited to see Jesus Made on a big stage. I'm excited for the Futures game. I love seeing all these guys that are going to be future stars. I saw a clip earlier of like Kyle Schwarber and Ozzie Albies and Aaron Judge and all these guys playing in their Futures game. So this is going to be really exciting. With the end of the pub crawl there means the end of Wisconsin Sports Weekend as well. Tommy Wortz, thank you so much for filling in for my guy Jack Pembroke. You've been awesome.
Charles.
Awesome. All right, next week, Jack Pembroke will be back on that other side of the glass there, hopefully with some hardware to hang up on the wall afterwards, too, after his big disc golf tournament. If you guys want to tune in later today at 2 p.m., Tommy Wortz is going to be back on air with the lead-off show. He will be discussing the Milwaukee Brewers' big win over the Washington Nationals last night. He'll give you some sound from the manager, Pat Murphy, some sound from the star players, all the highlights that you may have missed, and also give you a rundown of some of those prospects in the minor leagues, like Jesus Made, who you're going to see in the Futures game later tonight. It has been Wisconsin Sports Weekend live from the 12:50 a.m. and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I'm Charlie Uczen. That's Tommy Wortz. Have a great rest of your weekend, guys.